Hello everyone, welcome to my first reaction video for anything. So everyone knows there's a lot going on with Only Fangs when it comes to the World of Warcraft and classic hardcore. And I love these guys. I watch them. They got really funny takes on everything. Some of their deaths are funny. Some of their deaths are horrible. You feel for the guys. Right now, they got this thing going on with Pirate Software and all the drama there. And I kind of want to address some of my own feelings on it. Normally, I just kind of keep comments to myself with this kind of situation and don't make videos on it, obviously being my first one. But being a WoW player, and I've been playing since launch, and I took a break for a couple years and then came back. I wanted to weigh in a little bit on some of this stuff. Now, first, I want to start off I'm not here to hate on Thor at all. I think he's a great guy. I love his content. Love watching his videos. The guy cracks me up. I love watching his streams. So I mean, some of the dog piling on him is a little thick, a little too much. Don't get me wrong. I'm probably gonna dogpile a little bit with some of my commentary on it, but it comes from being a player just as long as he's been a player. So, I mean, my reactions, I don't pull punches. I don't candy coat things. I don't sugarcoat. I'm blunt when it comes to something I think is, dumb or whatever. But some of the things, I will admit in the videos and everything that are here, the little parts of the videos we watching, everything like that, kind of covering from other creators within OnlyFans, everything like that. I do agree a lot on some of the things they say. Some of them I'm like, okay, you could move on a little bit. It's a little too excessive. But there are things also that even for like Thor, it's like, hey man, like, come on, like own it a little bit. I'm not saying take full blame. Like, don't ever take full blame if it's not 100% your fault. And as you'll see, it's not 100% his fault. There's a multitude of mistakes made. Do I believe that the run was salvageable in this instance? I believe it was, and that comes from years of playing. I've been the tank, I've been the healer, I've been the DPS. Yeah, I've done all ends, all specs, all forms of it. And yeah, there are times it's not salvageable. Like, things go haywire, people die, things are ridiculous and horrible. But I felt like it was probably salvageable this time around. It would have been kind of flying by the seat of your pants, skin of your teeth kind of thing. Would have been rough. Definitely would have been rough and iffy. But I think it could have been possible to be pulled off and be done. And I just want, this is my take on some of it. So like this first one here is Soda Pop, and he's going over it and some of his thoughts and everything like that. And I'll kind of, some of maybe Soda's ideas and things he says here. I do have, watching a large chunk of this video before, I do believe a lot of things that he says, and he is pretty straightforward. Like he's trying to approach it as in a better way than just like dog piling. So like we'll just watch the clip here, and you'll see where things kind of go kind of haywire with everything.
It's really, and I would know this, it's easy to go back to things with hindsight glasses. It is. A lot of people don't account for human error, but I'm going to watch this and I'm going to break it down with that in mind.
Have you seen the guy that's trying to actively reduce his age?
I know. Oh, that's crazy. I've seen this dude.
We got two, so just focus this.
Yep. Okay.
See, everything's fine here. Like, this is manageable. Like, yeah, it's 2 packs. It's kind of horrible, but it's not the end of the world.
Well, I got shield wall.
The boss coming sucks, but here's the thing: that back guy's
Run. Just run. Can you target dummy?
Okay.
That back ogre is almost dead. Could have easily just finished him off. That's one less mob to worry about, one less heavy hitter. That would have made things a lot easier. I get it. It was a bad pull. You pulled the one, the other one came in. It was a butt pull. It happens. I main tank in almost every MMO I play. Ass pulls happen, and they are ridiculous and they're aggravating. But it's a simple mistake. It happens. Everyone does it. You can't escape it. It's gonna happen. eventually at some point in your gaming career, whether it be an MMO or a non-MMO, if there's the opportunity to butt pull something, it's going to happen eventually. And so, I get it. They're running back a little bit. Definitely run back where they're going and get some space. Get some, where you can get a better, more open view of everything. And, maybe a little bit better control of the situation at hand.
Okay, run, sure. Target dummies are down. That's fine.
I can target.
I mean, from right here, I would just start rank 1 blizzarding immediately.
Exactly. I mean, he built himself for the slowing effects of Blizzard. So, yeah, at this point, he's not worried about damaging the mobs. He's just slow them down, like change the pace of combat a little bit. I mean, that's what Frost Mages are great at, changing that pace when it comes to being able to slow enemies, freeze them in place, and everything like that. If you can start controlling the pace of what's going on, that opens up and alleviates like a lot of option for you and your group. I don't know what the rogue's doing. I don't know if he has a bunch of stuff on cooldown that maybe he can't CC something or whatever. I don't know. I don't see his stuff. So, I mean, there's options.
Immediately. Even, it's a sticky situation. Does he have rank 1 blizzard on his bar?
Yeah. Should I do it?
I assume that.
And see, like Soda says here, you got what looks like rank 1 blizzard and then a full power blizzard underneath it. So, I mean, Thor came prepared, right? Like, this man knows the game. He's played it long enough, okay? I do want to make comment, though. What I don't understand is why he plays with his bags open. That's just a personal peeve. Like, it seems a little weird to, like, block a chunk of your screen with all your bags open for no apparent reason. I mean, you could just put something on the bar if you need to click it, which he has, obviously, right? Potions and everything on the bar. So, like, why are your bags open, taking up all this space? But that's a personal peeve. That's not like a, Thor, you're horrible or anything. No, you play the way you want to. I just think it's really funny. It's like all these bags open. It's like, do we need to see your inventory in all of this? I mean, I don't personally need to know what's in your inventory, but cool, I guess, if that's, your thing. You do you. Like I said, personal distraction and peeve.
That's his rank 1 blizzard and that's his max rank. Does he click it? Bosses can't be slowed. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, bosses can't be slowed.
Boss gets tanked, no problem, and the other mobs just get CC'd in the back.
Exactly. Yes, we understand. The boss can't be CC'd. We get it. You can CC everything else, though. That's an ordeal. And that makes a huge difference. The tank, just grab the boss. And, everything else can just be kind of mowed down. And I get it. It's classic. You're not the uber, like, gods of DPS or anything like that. Like I said, I've played since launch. I live this dungeon forever. I hate this dungeon just because of how big and confusing it can be. But it's not like the end of the universe, for dungeons either. Shattered Halls was by far one of the most aggravating dungeons I ever had to be in, and just because it's just unlucky with a lot of groups. But like this, I mean, it's a classic dungeon. It's not the worst thing in the world,
In the backline, pretty simple. I don't know. Does he click that? I don't know.
Just kill the massive. Yeah, target dummy. Kill the massives.
No.
I mean, he could be blizzarding.
Also, are you fine?
There's a blizzard.
He max blizzard. I don't think he should have done that, but simple mistake. It happens in the moment. It still does the same effect. It's not like, he's not using it to slow the shit down. I mean, obviously he is, but that's a simple mistake. That's, throw that out the window. Who cares that it was a max level? It should have been, a rank 1 just because you're slowing and not trying to like destroy the enemy at the moment. But in this instance, it happens. Just shit happens. Simple mistakes.
that a max rank?
I can
Alright.
target him, yeah. Should I do it?
Just kill the massive. Yeah,
Okay,
target him.
blink.
Now, here's the thing. Why is he blinking? Why is he blinking? He's far enough away that that blink doesn't even need to be used. He could just run at this moment because he has an army of other players behind him, especially the tank, that could stop anything that might try to get past and get to him. So, I mean, it's kind of just wasted mana blinking at that point. Plus, you got like a frost shield on for no apparent reason. There's nothing going to be hitting you. I've always seen shields as like an oh shit button, where it's like, oh, something's coming at me, I gotta shield myself so I don't just get one-shotted possibly. Or, you know, if maybe it did hit me and I gotta get it off of me, I shield to prevent more damage to get away. I get it. It happens, you know, in every MMO. They got some kind of effect like that. You know, in ESO, you learn to use shields pretty hardcore from my years of playing in ESO and raiding. Definitely, shields are important at times. But I don't see why he's using it right here. He didn't need to. Also, the blink, like I said, it's kind of like out of place with the blink. It's a little weird. Like, what are you blinking from? You're not close enough to need to worry about blinking away from something that might smash your face in. Plus, from what I can tell, he has no aggro. What are you blinking from? The thing that's not going to attack you yet? Like, that seems a little weird and just wasted mana on his part. Some of it might just be reaction. It happens, you know, you're in the moment. I get it. But it is a weird little thing to waste the mana on something you didn't need to waste the mana on.
Blink.
Kill the massives.
No.
Aussie, are you fine?
Oh, that's a max rank. Okay.
So does reaction.
Yeah, that's a max rank Blizzard. And I think there's a lot of fear.
There's a lot of fear. Okay, one. This comes from being a tank in every game. And I maybe I am different than other MMO players by chance. I don't know. What fear? I mean, me personally, as somebody who mains tanks usually, fear is not really much of an option. Like, I literally fly by the seat of my pants all the time, right? Because shit can go bad, and I got to be the one to try to rescue the shit from going bad, okay? If it's to save the group and sacrifice myself, if it's to get us all out of there, if it's just to maintain so we can kill everything. So, like, fear, it's kind of weird because I play DPS and heals the same way. Like, I'm not running off. I'm not afraid of the moment. Like, for me, when things get intense and things like that, like, I double down. I double down hard on just like doing the job. I'm not like running and escaping. I'm like, all right, well, this is, you know, either we're going to die or we're not going to die. This is going to be the end of the story. Let's just do this. And maybe that's just me, you know, teach their own and how they play. But I mean, fear, what fear does he have? Look how far away he is. He has, you know, fucking 4 other people in front of him. You know, it comes back to the age-old tale of, I don't have to outrun the creature. I just have to outrun you. He's outrun them. Like, there's no apparent reason for him to be worried. And the look on his face this is not a man who seems like he's afraid of what's going on. He seems maybe a little perturbed in the look on his face, maybe like okay, you know, this is bleh, you know, suck. And as he mentions in other videos, this is like the second time in here that it went wrong, and I get it. It's an aggravation. But I'm a raider, man. Like, I'll bash my head on a wall for like 6 hours straight on a boss fight in a raid in order to learn it, get it down, and complete it and be better at it later. So, like, 2 runs gonna piss me off? I don't think so. Like, unless it's just blatant stupidity happening, 2 runs is literally nothing. Now, I get right here, right? It warns him that there's low mana, right? Like, okay, we see it, obviously. Mana low, right here on the screen, big red letters, right? Okay, and we could see, I mean, it's kind of blocked by Soda's thing, but yeah, very low mana. But here's my aggravation at the moment. He has Robes of the Archmage, right? That's a clickable mana. That's basically a built-in mana pot, okay? Now, let's get real. Let's come over here real quick. Okay, Robes of the Archmage. 375 to 625 mana with the 5-minute cooldown. Okay, that's a good chunk of change. It's a good chunk of change right there when it comes to mana. It's like I said, it's a built-in mana pot. Just a bam, and you got it. Okay. Step number 1, you could have used it. Maybe save it just in the off chance he didn't have to, right? Okay. But he also has a mana ruby. Okay, and here's the problem. That mana ruby is going to give him a lot more back than that robe does. Like a ton, like almost double the amount. Maybe a little less. So, like, it's a good fat chunk of change this man has access to between those two things. Now, from what I could tell, this bag's open. He doesn't have any mana pots. At first, I thought he did looking at it, but looking at those two that kind of look like mana pots, I don't believe they are. I believe there's something totally different just by the graphic for them. There's something totally different. I mean, you got this one here that's kind of close, but it's not the same thing, and then that obviously isn't. But my point is he has options. He has 2 options here. And he doesn't have to click them both back to back, right? Like, you don't have to do that. Mana Ruby, get your mana back, the big chunk of mana, and go to town. Now, here's the one thing that is a big aggravation with this too. This is during Classic, okay? And all the way up until about the end of Burning Crusade, maybe the next expansion after, wands were a viable weapon choice for spellcasters, and for the simple purpose of it allows you to keep doing damage while letting your mana build back up. MP5 was a big ordeal back then. And so, you're out of mana? Target something small. Target something small. It doesn't have to be the boss. It can be any one of these smaller mobs. And just start wanding, right? Because you're at max distance here. So just start wanding, right? That's letting your MP5 kick in. That's letting your mana regen back because you're not expending any. On top of the fact you have 2 clickable mana options. Okay, so this man has 3 options right now. Now, wanding's not the greatest thing in the universe by any means, but it's there. It's not, back then it was, during Classic and all that, it is not just a stat piece in this time period. It was a viable option for spellcasters to be like, oh shit, I'm low on mana, I gotta get it back. Let me start wanding so I'm still doing damage. My damage isn't going to be the best, but I'm still doing some damage. I'm still helping the group. I'm still pumping out a kill while letting my mana regen back as fast as it can. Minus, potions and rubies and whatever else might give mana back. It's a viable option. And once again, Thor has played this game long enough, and he's worked with the game for Blizzard. This man knows this game like the back of his hand, okay? Because if I know this game like the back of my hand, he knows this game like the back of his hand. Just like some of these guys in Only Fangs do. Soda has played the game very long. He knows the game like the back of his hand. You know what I mean? Like when Soda's death happened, I watched that video. That was horrible. That was just bad luck. That just shit went haywire and things happened and it just went bad. And it wasn't because, like, he fucked up. Things just happened. Like, shit happens to the best of us. But I don't understand why he is not wanding to at least... It's some form of damage. Nobody's horribly dying. Look at everybody's health. Like, it's almost everybody is at full health, right? The tank is at the least amount of health. But he's not hurting. He's not dying. He's not, like, under half. He's like, what, a quarter of his health is gone? Perfectly fine, perfectly capable to grab all that shit right there. Just grab it all. Okay, start pegging off the little ones, right? Let the tank take the boss and take the big hits while the healer's keeping him alive. You can hold aggro on all the other stuff while you're popping off little ones. Okay, you're just getting rid of them.
Pirate is scared as fuck right now. I think he has no idea what's able to happen. He doesn't know what any of these mobs do, so he is terrified.
He knows exactly what these mobs do. Any person who's played this game since launch like he has knows exactly what this dungeon is. He knows exactly what all these mobs do. This is not a secret to him. Like, it's been how many years since I've run this dungeon, and I can still walk in there and know exactly what all these mobs do and know which ones I need to CC and which ones I don't need to worry about. He knows what they do. Let's be realistic.
For his own life. He is. And I can excuse that. That's fine.
That's not a face of a man who's afraid of what's going on. It's not. That's the face of a man who's just aggravated in this moment. It's the same face I get when I get aggravated in WoW, when I deal with really bad rando groups that just do obnoxiously stupid things that could have been avoided and didn't have to happen.
Like, can't flack on someone for sucking. Or not sucking, just not knowing. However,
He knows, though.
the max
Everyone
rank
should
Blizzard here was a part.
Pirate is not one of the new players that's never played WoW up until now. He's not one of those guys. He has played this game in and out a lot. This man is not afraid of what these mobs can do. He knows what they can do. He is capable of handling them, especially as a mage. Some other classes might have a little bit harder time, but he's a mage and he has options. He has options open. Right now, he's got 3 options, okay? Not running, obviously. Like, he could run, but, like, if I'm in this instance, no matter what my job is, the only person I'd be more concerned about at the moment if I was the healer, because my mana is so low. But at the same time, I've been a healer, and I've run with tanks that run you low on mana entire runs and still pulled them off and still succeeded without any deaths. I personally, as a tank, my wife can attest to this because she's been my personal healer for years, and wow, she can attest to this. I push my healers. My healers don't sit past like a quarter to a half of a mana bar an entire run if it's going good, because I just pull. Now, I don't do stupid pulls. I'm not going to pull an entire room if I don't think I can survive it and keep all the aggro and keep everyone alive. But if I know I can, because I know the dungeon, I'm just go. And we've succeeded. You know, like I said, I fly by the seat of my pants because the tank's my thing, right? There's no fear. It's just get it. Go for it.
Part of just sucking. I don't know why you would max rank here. I don't know the
Yeah,
plan.
the max
And then
rank was a
cancel
mistake.
it
Simple
immediately,
mistake.
only hitting 1 hyena. But again, panic, sure.
It's not panic. I think it's just honest mistake that he cast it, let it tick once, and then, you know, canceled it. Honest mistake on that, I think. I don't think it's a panic mode. I think it was just a brain fart. You know, we all have them. It happens. Especially in games, you know, our brains just, you know.
It's a lot of mooncloth.
There's a lot of mooncloth.
Any grenades,
I got last
anything?
stand. You can just
Heal him,
kill
heal him, heal him.
Yeah, you just heal me. Just come back a little bit.
Boss is on me, sitting bear form.
Snuppy, just run.
Okay. Now, mind you, that one guy in the group is really low health, right? I'm not sure who's the tank in the group. From what I gather, it's the druid. So the druid's at low health. I'm assuming he's the tank by the bear form. So yeah, it's a little iffy. One, why are you bubbling everybody as the priest? Like, the tank should have the bubble. He's the one grabbing all the aggro of everything. You need to bubble him. Why are you bubbling everybody else who clearly doesn't seem like they have aggro or need the bubble?
I see he also has mana gem, and
Robes
I'm
of the
assuming
Archmage.
that's the mage weave, or the, what do they call it? The robes of the Archmage.
Exactly. He has 2 options. We're not even counting wanding in, right? Like, wanding's still a viable option to help let your mana come back, especially when you're at max range and you have no aggro. You could still get some mana back. It's there. It's an option, right? So yes, mana gem. He basically has like 2 mana pots right there, just sitting on his bar, just blowing away in the wind because he's not doing anything with them.
And their on use gives mana. Okay, so he has a lot of mana. I don't.
He does.
That's
a
either
big
holy
chunk of
water.
mana.
Well, it's not a mana potion.
No, I think that's holy
I don't
water.
see any mana potions in his bag, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless this
I don't
is
see either.
actually a mana pot. But I assume that it's next to Scourge.
Yeah, that looks like holy water, possibly. The other one, like I said, looked really close to a mana pot, but you can tell looking at it, it's not this exact same image as a mana pot. So yeah, I don't believe he has any mana pots in his bags at all, unless something's like, you know, his head and wizard hat is covering something, but it looks like underneath the cloth, the bag's probably pretty empty. So That's fine. No mana pots. It happens. Although, why don't you have a mana pot? I could be wrong. Maybe they share a cooldown with the mana ruby. I don't remember right off the bat. If they do, they may. And it might make sense why he doesn't carry them, because really, if you're going to have to use your mana ruby, what's the point of carrying a mana pot? I don't remember. They might. But nonetheless, why are you not carrying any as a caster? In the off chance you don't have your ruby, or didn't have a chance to summon another one, you still have options with a mana pot. I don't know. A lot of weirdness here.
Stones, it's holy water. Okay, so it doesn't have a mana pot unless it's behind his Gandalf hat.
Exactly.
But he does have mana gem, and he does have the robes, and that's enough.
I can help a lot. Yeah.
that is.
And
It's a lot of
honestly,
mana.
even if he didn't have that, rank 1 Blizzard. That's
Yep.
your job here.
Yep.
That is
Not to mention wanding. Blizzard them, slow them down, start popping them with a wand. The wand doesn't do a lot of damage, even if you max skill, but it's something, and it's still helping get rid of the mob and allowing your mana to come back because you're not spellcasting. Can't say it enough.
Pirate, why are you walking, bro?
They should all be.
Right here. This is what would piss me off. I have no mana. I can't help you. I fucking blinked? Like, why'd you blink? You're not near anything. Why are you blinking? You're the farthest person away. Why did you blink? At this point, you're far enough away, you could just outrun the mobs because everyone else behind you would just die long before they got to you. So I don't understand why he blinked. He just wasted mana blinking. I'd like to say it's reaction, but I've played a mage enough to know that no, I'm not blinking unless I have to. Like, if it's a pointless use, I'm not going to use it. Like, yeah, I'll blink when I'm just traveling. It's a little bit distance and whatever out of boredom, but I'm like, in a fight, I'm not going to blink for no apparent reason, right?
Walking
What are
out
you talking
together,
about?
and they should all be
I'm
fine.
walking.
This
Look at
is
my mana.
savage, but come
Innovate
on,
you?
man.
Just kill the master.
Innovate.
Exactly. Like, everyone's kind of yelling at each other, and I get it. It happens. Comms get bananas in dungeons, especially when things are going haywire. But like they said, it's salvageable. So far it is. Kill the hounds. They're small, right? They're small. They have less health. They die. They're going to attack faster than the big guys are. They're not going to hit as hard, but they're going to attack quicker. And there's multiples of them. That's the problem, right? They stack up. But if you can ping them off, it makes the big guys real easy to deal with, even with their big swings.
Right.
Innovate
Use
the healer.
Nova, bro,
Kill the
come on.
mastiffs. We got
Big
this.
deal.
In the sense of
War something?
Do you see my mana?
smirking.
What am I?
Okay. I get, and if I remember right, he makes mention here, evocations on cooldown. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Evocations on cooldown. It happens, right? Obviously, he used it for a reason. Still mana ruby, still robes, still a wand. 3 options to help get your mana back, and you are not taking them. Then he starts smirking and smiling. This is a dog shit maneuver right here. This is what would piss me off watching these videos back and talking to him about it. It's like, why are you fucking smirking? Why is this your go-to response right now when you can clearly see that you have options, right? Like I said, I'm not here to dogpile on Thor and say that he's a bad player. I mean, mistakes were made. Some of them are dumb. Some of them are, more realistic mistakes that can just happen in the moment. You get a brain fart and it just, it happens. What can you do? But at the same time, I can't excuse the guy for sitting here smirking about it when it's like, really? Like, it's salvageable. The aggravation can be there, and maybe it's kind of like a condescending kind of smirk because you're aggravated with the whole situation. It's your second time in here, and things went bad twice. But this is what will piss people off a lot. Like, facial features make people angry depending on when they appear. you know.
What am I supposed to do for you?
Just kill the Mastiffs. One shot. Okay, we
More,
pulled
there's
another
more on the way,
Mastiff.
more on the
Run
way.
now.
Smirks.
The Mastiffs
He's like a
can be
mile
ice
away.
Novas.
It's a fucking mile. Why?
Now we're
Why? Why did you frost shield? What was the purpose? You're like 10 miles away from the mob. Nothing is here going to attack you or damage you. And you wasted mana on shielding yourself from absolutely nothing. Was the air around you too dangerous, perhaps? Like, I don't... This was not a mistake. This was just stupidity on his part. I could say that. The shield, when he's that far away and there's nothing aggroing him, nothing targeting him, that's just stupidity at that point. I can't absolve the guy of just doing something really dumb that doesn't make any sense, because, like, really, he should know why you're wasting mana shielding when there's absolutely no reason to shield.
now we're gonna wait.
Nasara?
No.
Okay.
Okay, get out, get out.
Run.
He has mana, so I don't know.
And he blinked again. He blinked again. 10 miles away from anything that could kill him. Blink again. Why are you wasting mana that you're complaining about not having? You are proving you have mana to do something. Minus the fact they don't know you have a ruby and they don't know you have the robes right now, right? Like, they don't know you have these going. And you are just blatantly blasting out mana for pointless reasons that don't make any sense.
Evocation's on cooldown, man.
You have okay. Evocation is on cooldown, sure.
I can
But you
talk
have
about
mana
how
gem and
much
you have
mana
robes.
is Moment
It's
as
Ice
well.
Nova. There's no...
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Robes, ruby, can wand 10 miles away from every mob that could possibly be aggroing him. He's blinking, wasting mana for no reason. He's frost shielding, wasting mana for no apparent reason. Okay. Let's come over here. I think I got it.
Chat, do not do that. You guys are gonna get banned.
Summit, how do you...
Okay.
Yeah, that was the second time we had to run out too. So the
See,
moment that party
second
collapsed,
time.
I'm like, I'm not doing this again. I've spent all my resources. I'm getting out. First time I almost died. Second time I almost died. Like I wasn't gonna give.
Second time I almost died. Okay. First time, I don't know. Maybe he almost died, and that sucks. Second time, you came nowhere near dying at all. Not remotely close to it. That comment made no sense. Like, what? The second time you almost died? Clearly you didn't almost die. That makes no apparent sense whatsoever. Now, here's the one thing that does piss me off that Thor talks about with this situation.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this. I appreciate you.
People don't understand. Do you want to know one of the reasons why I'm more hesitant to dive in and maybe die for a scenario
pisses
like
me
that,
off.
where I already know that it's very lost?
It's not very lost. The first one might have been. Don't have the clip. It may have been very lost. Second one, not very lost. Salvageable opportunities. Opportunities lost and not taken. Could have done better, just didn't.
Very lost.
I'm one of the primary guild enchanters.
Oh no. Oh no.
Okay. One of the primary guild enchanters. Let me tell you something, as somebody who's been a guild leader. If you came to me and that was your excuse, it's dog shit. And I would boot you out of my guild in a heartbeat for that stupid ass response. And I'll tell you why. He has made comment about how, people using add-ons in WoW. If you are not a knowledgeable player and you're just piling add-ons into your game, those add-ons are not always correct. Timers can be off by a little bit. These are things you notice as a WoW player. You pay close attention to everything around you that's going on. And add-ons, like you said, are in addition to knowledgeable players who know what they're doing, they're like a boon to you. They're just a little added boon. But to people who don't know what they're doing, they can throw the whole game off, because timers can be off by a little bit. They could be off by a second or two. They could be, the wrong ability sometimes. Add-ons or programs, it happens, right? They have their own brain farts. And so you have to be knowledgeable enough to know when to ignore the add-on for something versus when to listen to it. Okay, same idea with enchants here. Okay, but it's a little different. An enchant is not going to make or break a good WoW player. It's not going to happen. It's not going to make or break you in any instance. You can have no enchants on your equipment, still come out number one on a DPS meter, still do your job as a tank, still do your job as a healer. Same thing with gems, armor kits, all that stuff, right? All of those things you can still do perfectly fine and do your job without. Okay, I've done it a million times. They're nice additions. They're great additions. They add that little bit to your character, but an enchant is not gonna make or break something. And in a game where a lot of your players are new to this game and new to things going on, and they're playing in the hardest version of this game, you're seeing videos from Only Fangs, like 2 to 4 videos almost daily or every other day of deaths. And like I said, some are funny, some are detrimental, some are horrible, some are just simple mistakes that happen. Some of them are, they did everything right and shit just went wrong. But you cannot use a primary enchanter as an excuse to why you would just run off in a moment that could be salvaged, that could have gone better with your help. You cannot use that as an excuse. That your enchants you can give people are not going to make or break things happening in game. The enchants are like a small addition, they're a built-in add-on. They are not going to make or break your groups, okay? You can run without them and succeed. You can run with them and succeed. They don't have to be there. You don't have to have them. Are they great additions? Are they great for min-maxing your capabilities on your character and your class? Sure, they are. They're fantastic for that. But don't use the excuse of I'm the primary enchanter in a game where anybody could be the enchanter, okay? Anybody could be the enchanter. Anybody could be the engineer. Anybody could be the alchemist. That is not a viable excuse for why you do things the way you do. That is a very, in straightforward terms, very dog shit excuse that, as a guild leader myself, would aggravate the ever-loving shit out of me to see, because it doesn't make any sense.
Not that my life is more important than yours. Oh shit! I gotta stretch.
For a scenario like that where I already know that it's very lost.
Dude, I can't believe the line. I can't believe he tossed that into there, where I already know that it's very lost.
Exactly. I mean, Summit gets it, right? Like, he understands. And like Summit said, he goes, why would you throw that in there when it's very lost? Because it wasn't. The first time around, it might have been very lost. The first run, I don't know. I don't have the video. It might have been very lost. It might have been really, really bad, and there was no way he could do anything to save it, no matter how much mana and shielding and whatever he may have had, right? There's no level of salvaging. But the one that everyone's talking about was salvageable. He was salvageable, and he wormed his way out of it when he had options. And I'd like to say, forgetfulness, things happen, but it's like, you lay out your bars, you know what's on them, you know what your character is capable of, especially if you're a long-term MMO player. You know what you are capable of. And it's like, one thing I want to say to Thor is just humble yourself a little bit, man. Like, no one's expecting you to take full blame for what happened. By no means would I say anybody should give you full blame for what happened, because that would be bullshit, right? That'd be unfair, and it wouldn't make any sense to do that, and it would be incredibly wrong to do that. But take accountability for the things that you did. That's the one thing I think that's pissing everyone off, and that's kind of what made me angry. As like I said, I love Thor. I think he's awesome. I think he's a great content creator. I love watching his streams. I love watching his clips and his videos. The guy cracks me up. I love his takes on almost everything. But like you need to take accountability for your own personal moments of stupidity. It happens to everyone, right? Everyone has a moment where they do or say something stupid. But look back at the situation and things and don't pile on the bullshit. Just take accountability for the simple mistakes that you made and own up to it. Otherwise, this is what's going to make everyone dogpile on you. It's not the fact that you ran that will piss people off. It's an aggravation because they'll be like, yeah, there's a couple things you could have done, but you're taking no accountability whatsoever. And that's the problem right now I have with Thor, is that he's not taking that accountability for his actions. And don't throw out that you're the primary enchanter. That's a moot point. It really served no purpose in his entire argument. It means absolutely nothing. You know, oh, I have the Crusader enchant. Whoopity doo dah. Anybody who's an enchanter could go get that same enchant. I mean, come on. Let's get realistic. It does not make any sense to sit there and make that as an excuse. Just own up, man. Just a little humility, a little bit of ownage in your own mistakes. Yes, be forward with it and be like, hey, I wasn't the only one that made mistakes. A lot of mistakes were made in this run. However, yes, I didn't properly use my mana returners that I had 2 of. I could have been wanding to let my mana help get back when I was at distance and had no aggro, right? I have options. Own up to those options. That's all it takes. Is just own up to them, right? No one's asking you to say that it was all your fault and take full blame for everything that was going on. People just want you to react in a way that makes sense of, hey, I made some fuck ups. And I need to clear the air and admit that I made these mistakes. I should have known better. That's my bad. I will take accountability for the mistakes that I made. Don't take accountability for the rest of the group's mistakes. Don't do that, right? Don't be that guy that takes blame for everybody's stuff, because if you're not to blame, don't take the blame for it. But own up to your part of it, okay? Like, that's what I'm saying. Now, you know, of course, he also had this really long tweet about the entire thing. And I get it, right? Communications were kind of broken. They were kind of all over the place, as you could hear in the video. They weren't the best, but it still wasn't the end of the universe. Yeah, we don't expect Thor. We don't expect you to be a god player, man. We really don't. Now, we do expect the fact that you've played longer than most of the people in your group and are more knowledgeable than most of the people in your group. We do expect the fact that you can be the person who leads them into victory in moments like this, because you have that knowledge, you have that skill, you've played that long. I have to do it in groups when I've been playing games longer and know the ins and outs better. I have to try to lead people and take control. It happens. Okay. So, like, there's some of that being humble again. Humble yourself a little bit. Like, you have the knowledge, you have the intellect to take hold of the reins, be in charge of that moment, and really kind of hunker everyone down to doing their job better in that moment to succeed. Like I said, man, you have the knowledge. If these guys have not been playing as long as you, they don't have the same knowledge that you do. They don't know as well as you do. You become the boss, you take the reins, you tell them, hey, shut down, quiet on comms. Everybody listen. Do this, do this. You jump in, you do this. You jump in, you do this. You start doing this. And you try to pull out a win on something that might seem like you might not be able to, but you very well could pull out a win. And here's the thing. At the end of the day, it's a game, man. It's a game. Yeah, you'll lose all the time you spent leveling your character and have to start over again. But it's a game. That's what games are about. Is trial and error. You fail, you learn. That's the best way of learning something is failing at it because you learn what your mistakes are and you better yourself the next time around. But my main thing is just be more humble about it, man. Take responsibility for your actions and your mistakes and don't make it seem like you're unconcerned and that everything was to blame on somebody else. I'm not saying that you said everyone else is to blame, but your actions make it feel that way. And actions are a big thing to people. Words, actions, any kind of facial expressions you make, these are very big ordeals to people when they can see them and hear them and know what's going on. Now, where he says he had like a really long hate raid over it, I think that's ridiculous. People shouldn't be hate raiding him for it. I can understand their aggravation. I can understand where they come into his chat and are like, hey man, like you had options. You could have done this, you could have done this. This was possibly salvageable because of these reasons, and giving pointers. Like, listen to those people because maybe they're right. Maybe they know what's going on. Maybe they are correct. But yeah, don't hate raid the guy, obviously, because that's ridiculous. Why would you do that? It's horrible. It doesn't make any sense. There's no reason to just dunk on the guy completely for things are going on. But like the main takeaway to all this, I think, is just he needs to show a level of humility because he made mistakes that he shouldn't have made, and he had options to remedy said things going on, and he could have helped turn that around into a win for the group in a really hectic, crazy, insane situation. But he didn't. And then he kind of came away like in this kind of condescending, arrogant manner about it instead of just humbling himself a bit. Like, yeah, he should stand up for himself. He should ban people that are hate rating because it's wrong, it's ridiculous, and it's childish. Like, why are you hate rating somebody? That's the stupidest shit ever. Don't do that. Like, be fucking adults. Don't be dumbasses. But at the end of the day, like, just take some accountability, Thor. I mean, again, you'll probably never see this or know anything about this video whatsoever. I'm not anybody important on the internet to be on your radar. But if you do see this, I want you to understand that I'm not here to dogpile on you. I'm not here to say that you're a dumbass and, you know, you knew better, blah, blah. I'm here just to say take some accountability and humble yourself a little bit to the situation. Okay? You had options. You had ways that could have contributed to a possible win in that second situation. Like I said, I don't know about the first situation. The first one might have been a bajillion times worse. It might have been absolutely horrible. But in the second situation that everyone's talking about, you can see clearly you had some options. But I think the biggest thing I want people want to dogpile on you is because you're not showing any level of humility in it. It feels like you're doubling down on the fact that you did absolutely nothing wrong. And we all know the whole group, everything went wrong. Everybody made mistakes in the entire run. We can see that. But you are making it seem like you did nothing wrong. And you're showing no level of humility, no humbleness whatsoever about it. And that's the great problem with it. That's the thing that's aggravating and pissing people off is the fact that your unwillingness to just be like, hey, you know what? You're right. I made mistakes. I could have played better. I had options that I didn't take. Mistakes were made all around. I want to own up to my parts of the mistakes. Don't own up to everybody else's mistakes, right? That's not your fault. Own up to your own. Like I said, Thor, I'm gonna tell you, you'll probably never see this video anyway. Like I said, I'm like a grain of sand in the great ocean of content creators in the world. I'm a nobody. But I just kind of wanted to give my own thoughts on it because a lot of times I keep these comments to myself, and there's things I think, but I never really say anything about them. Like, I talk to my wife about them, we discuss, but ultimately, like, I think you're a great guy. I think you're an amazing content creator. You're very knowledgeable. You inspire a lot of people. And that's fantastic. I feel we need more people like you in the world, right? You're a great inspiration to people, and you share a lot of information freely with people, and that's fantastic. And I have huge respect for you for all of that and all that you do to enlighten and bring joy and everything to people's lives with your content, with your knowledge, your wisdom on things, the paths you've taken in life and what you've learned from them and can teach others. Like, I have huge, huge respect for you. But at the same time, just show some humility, man. Just own up. Don't hunker down. Don't double down on that you did nothing wrong kind of feel to it. Just be like, hey, I know things went wrong. Mistakes were made on all ends. Yes, I did make mistakes, and I did handle a situation in a way that I could have handled it better, and I could have done more, and I could have possibly helped pulled out a win for the group. That's my bad on my part. Just, that's all people want, man. They want you to just own up to your part. That's it. As simple as that. Like I said, yeah, hopefully people take enjoyment out of my video here and things I said. I mean, I'm sure there'll probably be comments from people who are like, oh, you know what you're talking about, you're a dumbass and blah, 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 and they're going to hate on me because of things I said and all that. But for those of you who sit here and watch this entire video all the way through, I want you to understand, I'm not here to hate on Thor. I'm not. Like I said before, I have huge respect for the guy. I really do. I like the guy. He's an incredible person. We need more people like him in the world, especially nowadays with the world being as crazy as it is. I just wanted to give my 2 cents on what I think is why a lot of people are so angry with the situation, and it's just his doubling down, making it seem like he did nothing wrong. And I think that's the approach that's making people angry. It's not that things went wrong. It's not that, the whole group would have died or something. It's the double down on not taking full ownership of mistakes. And like I said, I kind of got a little bit more heated when it came to the response of, on the primary enchanter, because honestly, that entire part of what he said, I think is dog shit. I think it doesn't make any sense. There's no point to that comment. Like, those enchants aren't going to make or break anything. Like, they're there and they're great additions. But that's kind of a moot point. Like, that should not be your thought process onto why you work so hard to not die in groups or things like that because you're the primary enchanter. That doesn't make any sense. That's kind of a pointless argument to have. This is the main thing I wanted with that. I mean, like I said, I've been playing this game as long as it's been out. And yeah, I took a couple years break. I went and played ESO. I was part of a raid guild in ESO. We raided every week. Same things applied there. I had to own up to my own mistakes. I had to take accountability for things. It's a thing in any game, especially MMOs, right? Because groups of people, you just take accountability. That's the thing. Just take accountability. Like I said, once again, Thor, if you happen to see this and you happen to watch all the way through, I want you to understand, I'm not here to dogpile on you. I'm not here to say that you were single-handedly the person to blame in this group situation that happened in the game. By no means do I think that. And yes, I do have respect for you. I think you're a great guy. I'm still going to watch your content. I'm still going to laugh at things that you say. I'm still going to listen to your knowledge and wisdom that you spread, because a lot of it is great. Just a little humility, man. Just come out straightforward and be like, hey, I made mistakes. I could have handled this better. There's some things I could have done. We could have possibly pulled out a win if I did said things. I am terribly sorry for my part of what happened, and I will do better to ensure play works better in the future when I'm involved within a group, whether it be I need to like jump in and take over as being the leader when things go crazy and be the knowledge guy, or just anything really. Like that's my main thing. Like I said, Thor, you're great, you're awesome, everything to you. And like I said, love your content, gonna continue watching it. Absolutely hilarious and everything. Love you, guy. Just humility, man. Humility. That is the biggest thing in this day and age, is humility for your own mistakes. That's it. That's all it is. It's all that really matters, is just take humility. So everyone out there, thank you. If you happen to watch this video all the way through, which I'm hoping you do, great. I myself stream over on Twitch. I have not for the past year. Real life things happened. There was a lot going on. It was a very hectic, horrible time period the past year. Things are more normal now. And so I'm hoping to start getting back into streaming again and stuff like that. Hopefully pretty soon. I've just been, every time I try, something comes up and I haven't been able to really start streaming again and get on, but I'm hoping that changes pretty soon now with some work changes and everything like that, and real world stuff that we're no longer having to deal with. So yeah, if y'all, obviously here on my YouTube page, I should have links to my Twitch and everything. If not, twitch.tv/gearfreed. I do try to stream Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays currently, because that's the only time I have, because I work overnights the rest of the week. And so I generally sleep quite a bit because I do overnight work. But I'm hoping to get back into starting up streaming again. Like I said, real detrimental this last year. We had a passing in my wife's family, and it took a big toll on everyone, and that's why for the past year I haven't been streaming, is because I've been helping my wife deal with everything that ultimately ended in a passing, sadly. But we're trying, life is slowly getting back to normalcy, and so hopefully here pretty soon we'll be able to start streaming again and start having fun on stream, start playing some video games again. Like this past year, I really haven't even played that many video games. I'm just here recently, been getting back on my Xbox and playing like Monster Hunter. But yeah, like I said, if you see this video, for the big guys out there like Thor and all them having to see it, like I said, love your guys, love all y'all's content. I'm not here to dogpile on you. That was not the purpose of my reaction to anything here. I just, I wanted to put out my thoughts on it, but I'm not here to hate on you. I'm not here to, disparage you from anything you do at all. By no means. I total respect for you. But everyone have a good day, live your life, have fun. And hopefully here pretty soon I'll see y'all on stream. Hopefully. I'm really trying. Just things have been really rough. All right. Peace out, everyone.